My sister insulted me in front of everyone at the Christmas party, and my stepmother backed her up, even telling me to leave the house. But what Olivia didn't know was that I had been secretly paying for her college tuition, so I stopped and decided to leave. My name is Rachel, and I'm 29 years old. This Christmas should have been a happy time, but for me, it turned into a nightmare I'll never forget. The house was full of laughter and Christmas music. The tree was decorated with lights and ornaments we gathered over the years. Everyone was enjoying the party, talking and laughing. I stood quietly near the table, sipping my hot chocolate, trying not to be noticed. My sister Olivia, who's 22, was in the middle of the room, telling her dramatic stories to get everyone's attention. Suddenly, she turned to me with a smirk. "Rachel," she called out loud, making everyone look at me. "Why don't you tell us what you've been doing with your life? Or is it still nothing?" Her words hit me hard. I looked around, seeing some people amused and others uncomfortable. My stomach twisted with anger and embarrassment. "Olivia, stop it," I said, trying to stay calm. "This isn't the time or place." "Oh, come on, Rachel. It's just a joke," she said, rolling her eyes. But her tone wasn't friendly. It was meant to hurt. Before I could say anything else, my stepmother Laura, who's 50, stepped in. "Olivia has a point," she said coldly. "You've been living here long enough, Rachel. Maybe it's time for you to move out and figure out your life." I couldn't believe it. Her words hurt more than Olivia's. I had been working hard to support this family in ways they didn't even know, but they treated me like a burden. I felt my face burn with shame as everyone continued staring. "I can't believe you'd say that," I muttered, my voice shaking. "Well, it's the truth," Laura said, crossing her arms. "You need to grow up, Rachel. You can't stay here forever." I put down my cup and turned to leave the room, my heart racing. What was supposed to be a joyful evening had turned into a moment of humiliation, and I didn't know how much more I could take. That night, I barely slept. The events of the party kept running through my mind, each word hurting more than the last. I thought about Olivia's smug face, Laura's cold voice, and how no one had stood up for me. The next morning, I woke up determined. I had stayed in that house too long, hoping they would finally appreciate me, but last night showed they never would. As I walked to the kitchen, I overheard Olivia and Laura talking in the living room. Their voices were quiet, but I could hear the anger in them. "She's so ungrateful," Olivia was saying. "We've done so much for her, and she just sulks all the time." "Exactly," Laura said. "She needs to get her act together. I'm tired of her freeloading." Freeloading? My blood boiled. They had no idea that I had been secretly paying for Olivia's college tuition for the last 2 years. They had no clue. I had never planned to tell anyone. I made a promise to my late father to help Olivia. He wanted her to have the chances he never got, and I wanted to keep that promise. But after hearing them talk about me like I was a burden, I couldn't take it anymore. I walked into the living room and both Olivia and Laura turned to look at me. Olivia smirked, almost daring me to speak. "I'm leaving," I said firmly, my voice steadier than I expected. "I've had enough." Laura raised an eyebrow. "Oh, really? And where are you going, Rachel? You can't just walk out without a plan." "I have a plan," I replied. "And by the way, Olivia, you might want to figure out how to pay for your next semester because I won't be covering your tuition anymore." The smirk on Olivia's face disappeared. "What are you talking about?" she asked, her voice shaky. I crossed my arms. "I've been paying for your college all this time. Dad asked me to take care of you, and I did. But I'm done now. You don't deserve it." Olivia's mouth opened and closed like she couldn't find the words. "You can't just stop paying," she finally said. "I need that money." "You should have thought about that before you humiliated me in front of everyone," I said coldly. "Figure it out yourself now." Laura's face showed both shock and anger. "Rachel, this is crazy. You can't just leave your family." I laughed bitterly. "Family? You've never treated me like family. You've used me, taken me for granted, and then called me a burden. I'm done being your punching bag." Without waiting for their response, I turned and walked away. I didn't need their approval anymore. I'd wasted too much time trying to get it. It was time to focus on myself. I spent the next few hours packing my things. It was strange how easy it was to leave a place I had called home for so long. Every room held memories, but now they felt empty, tainted by years of mistreatment. For every kind thing I had done, I had only received scorn in return. As I finished packing my last suitcase, Olivia stormed into my room, her face red with anger. "You're really leaving?" she demanded. "Yes, Olivia," I said calmly, not even looking up. "I am." Her voice shook. "What about my tuition? I can't stay in school without your help." I stopped packing and turned to face her. For a moment, I felt a twinge of guilt, but then I remembered her smirk at the Christmas party. "That's not my problem anymore," I said firmly. "You should have thought about that before treating me the way you did." "You can't do this," she snapped, tears welling in her eyes. "You're supposed to help me." I shook my head. "No, Olivia. I've already done more for you than you ever deserved. It's time for you to figure things out on your own." She stormed out, slamming the door behind her. I could hear her shouting downstairs, probably at Laura, but I didn't care. Their opinions didn't matter anymore. Later, I packed my bags into my car. Laura stood in the doorway, arms crossed, her face cold. "You're being dramatic, Rachel," she said. "This is your home. You'll come crawling back." I gave her one last look and smiled. "No, Laura, I won't. And when you're done trying to control everyone, maybe you'll realize how much you've lost." I got in my car and drove away, leaving behind the toxic place that had held me back for so long. The relief was immediate, like a huge weight had been lifted off my shoulders. I moved into a small apartment on the other side of town. It wasn't much, a one-bedroom with old appliances, but it was mine. For the first time in years, I felt peace. Over the next few weeks, I focused on myself. I worked hard, reconnected with friends I had lost touch with, and finally did things that made me happy. As the months passed, I began rebuilding my life. I set boundaries, learned to say no, and stopped feeling guilty for putting myself first. It wasn't always easy, but it was worth it. One day, I got a call from Olivia. I hesitated before picking up, but curiosity won. "Rachel," she said, her voice softer than I'd ever heard. "I just wanted to say I'm sorry. I didn't realize how much you were doing for me. I was selfish." Her words took me by surprise. For years, I had wanted to hear those words, but now that I did, they didn't feel as heavy as I thought they would. "Thank you for saying that," I replied, "but I need to keep moving forward. I wish you the best, Olivia, but I think it's better if we go our separate ways for now." She sighed but didn't argue. "Okay, take care, Rachel." As I hung up, I realized something important. Forgiving someone doesn't mean going back to the way things were. It means letting go of the anger and choosing to prioritize yourself. That Christmas, I celebrated in my apartment with a few close friends. We laughed, exchanged gifts, and toasted to new beginnings. For the first time in years, I felt truly happy. I didn't need Laura or Olivia to define my worth anymore. I had finally found my peace. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more amazing stories. Tap the notification bell to never miss an update, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and stay inspired. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe for more great stories. Don't forget to tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. Share your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing from you. See you next time, and take care.